Imagine this. You're on a yacht, waves are calm, the sunset looks painted, you're sipping fresh juice while a string quartet plays softly in the background. Perfect, right? Now imagine taking 2 steps, and suddenly you're inside a museum. One more step, boom, you're in a hospital. Another turn, and you're staring into a jail cell. Wait, what? This isn't your average rich guy toy. This is Project Y721, also known by insiders as the Floating Fortress. It's not just a yacht, it's a country on water. A ship so massive, so bizarre, and so top secret, it makes a James Bond villain lair look like a pool noodle. And yes, there's a real prison on board. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, the basics. This monster was commissioned by one of the wealthiest families alive. Name? Can't say. NDA. But rumors point to someone who owns everything from media companies to private islands. Your 721 isn't your flashy party yacht with disco balls and champagne fountains. It's serious, dark, built for something bigger. It stretches over 450 feet long, longer than a football field. It has 6 helipads, 2 submarines, a drone command center, and enough radar jamming tech to disappear from satellite tracking. That's right, this floating beast can literally vanish from global surveillance. Now, here's where it gets crazy. Room number 1, a museum. This museum holds priceless art. We're talking Da Vinci's, Picasso's, ancient Egyptian scrolls sealed in climate-controlled glass. Some say the yacht contains more stolen art than several European galleries combined. But here's the catch. No one outside the owner's circle has seen it. Not even the art world knows what's in there. It's a private treasure vault, floating in international waters. Room number 2, a hospital, fully equipped. Operating rooms, ICU beds, mini MR, eye scanner, and a staff of 12 medical professionals on rotation. Why? Because when you're this rich, you don't risk going to a city hospital. You bring the hospital to you. There's even a section for cryo storage. That's right, if you get seriously injured, they can freeze your body until the doctor you want is flown in from anywhere in the world. But hold on, we're just getting to the weirdest part. Room number 3, the jail. Yes, an actual detention cell. Steel bars, surveillance 24/7, biometric locks, soundproof walls. Why does a billionaire yacht have a jail? That's the question. Official reason? Crew discipline. People believe it's for guests who misbehave, or worse, for people they don't want getting off the ship. One leaked testimony from a former crew member said, "We had a guest who got drunk and tried to access a restricted level. Next thing I know, he was gone. Just gone. We were told he was confined for his safety." Let that sink in. You board as a guest, but if you cross the line, you're locked up in the middle of the ocean. No police, no lawyers, no phone calls, just the sea. And if that gives you chills, good, because this yacht is less about luxury and more about control. From the outside, it looks like a dream, but inside it's a floating kingdom with rules, guards, cameras. Some insiders even claim there are no fly zones around the ship when it travels, and that divers, armed divers, follow the vessel underwater. Why? What are they hiding? And most importantly, what are they expecting? So you're aboard this mega yacht. You've seen the priceless art, the private ICU, and even the jail. But here's where things go from rich to ridiculous. Because what makes this ship terrifyingly unique isn't just what's inside, it's how it's all controlled. Welcome to Black Deck. That's what the crew calls it. No one enters without clearance. Even the staff wear wristbands that shock if they try to access restricted doors. Yep, shock. Like a dog collar. Black Deck is where the real operations happen. Behind biometric doors, there's a wall of monitors, satellite feeds, drone controls, and even a digital map of the ship's internal body heat signatures. That's right, every person on board is being tracked in real time. Where you walk, where you sleep, even where you stop for longer than 30 seconds. And if your behavior looks suspicious, a silent alarm triggers. Security closes in. No confrontation. Just 2 guards in black stepping out of nowhere and saying one sentence. You're needed downstairs. Nobody wants to go downstairs. One ex-crew member said it was like a ghost ship. You'd pass someone in the hallway and wonder, are they a guest, a spy? And guess what? Sometimes they were none of the above. Because this ship doesn't just carry passengers, it carries power. CEOS, former intelligence agents. They don't come to party. They come to talk away from bugs, phones, and media. Because out here on the water, no laws apply. You could have meetings worth billions, exchange secrets, strike deals that change world policies, and no one would ever know. There's even a room nicknamed the White Chamber. Padded walls, no cameras, just one circular table, 12 chairs. It's rumored that's where the real decisions happen. No phones, no recordings, just whispers. Some say one meeting held there directly influenced a country's election. Another rumor? That a global tech platform's data leak was planned right there, as leverage in a business negotiation. But hey, those are just rumors, right? Still not convinced. Let's talk yes. Every name is redacted. Every itinerary is off-grid. But occasionally something slips. A random photo on a private Instagram. A super yacht tracker catching a blip before it disappears. That's how people figured out some past guests included. A Middle Eastern prince, 2 ex-presidents, and a certain billionaire tech mogul who suddenly vanished from media. For 3 weeks. What were they doing? Why were they all on the same ship? Nobody talks. Ever. Because everyone signs an NDA the size of a novel. Violating it? That's not just a lawsuit, it's said you'll never work in elite circles again. Some believe it's not just about keeping secrets, it's about testing loyalty, because once you've been on this yacht, well, remember that jail? Yeah. Now let's talk about what happens if you try to leave. There are escape boats, of course, but they're locked unless there's a verified emergency. One former chef tried to quit mid-voyage. He wasn't allowed to board the chopper. They said nobody leaves without clearance from the owner. So instead, he had to stay in isolation for the next 8 days. In his cabin, food delivered through a slot, cameras on 24/7. He later said it wasn't a yacht, it was a moving kingdom. And the king doesn't like deserters. You can feel it in the design. No part of this ship says fun. It's sleek, cold, clinical, like a laboratory or a war room. And some believe that's exactly what it is. Because guess what else is on board? Encrypted satellite uplinks, bulletproof glass, an underwater drone fleet. This yacht could disappear or become a fortress in minutes. And maybe that's the point. Maybe it's not a vacation ship, maybe it's a lifeboat. For when the world above starts to fall apart and the only people safe are already drifting away. So who really owns this ship? Good luck finding out. The yacht is registered under 4 shell companies, spread across tax havens like the Cayman Islands, Malta, and Singapore. Even the crew signs NDAs that don't mention a name, just the beneficiary. But in leaked maritime documents, there's one hint. A logo. A stylized serpent wrapped around an anchor. The same symbol used by an ultra-elite private trust founded in Switzerland in 1897. It's never advertised, no website, no press. But those who know it's old money. The kind that doesn't run companies, it runs countries. So here's the terrifying theory. This yacht isn't a flex, it's a fallback plan. A floating stronghold for when things go sideways. A plan B. For people who already know what Plan A looks like when it fails, think about it. It's got medical, it's got protection, it's got escape systems. It can sail without stopping for over 18 months using self-sustaining desalination and solar energy. And most importantly, it's constantly moving. No borders, no taxes, no oversight, and just once, one clue escaped. A small drone crashed off the coast of Seychelles, washed ashore, broken, but intact enough to be recovered. On its memory card, grainy footage. A ship, massive, unmarked, with the same serpent and anchor logo burned into its hull. And inside, a brief glimpse of something unsettling. A man strapped to a chair, not restrained violently, just placed, eyes open, staring, unmoving. A gloved hand adjusted a dial beside him. Then the video cut. No one knows what happened to that drone footage after that. It was taken down in hours, accounts deleted, hard drives wiped. But for a short moment, someone peeked inside the belly of the beast, and what they saw wasn't a party. It wasn't luxury, it was silence. Cold, organized, prepared. So here's the big question. Why prepare this hard? Unless you know what's coming? It's the same with bunkers, private islands, off-grid data vaults. The ultra-rich aren't just living in luxury, they're quietly building lifeboats. And this yacht? This might be the flagship of that fleet. Tomorrow the internet crashes, markets melt, or war breaks out, this ship won't be in panic. It'll be already gone, far from borders, far from headlines, floating safely with its silent museum, surgical rooms, secret meetings, and jail cells. And we, the rest of us, will still be stuck arguing over whose fault it is. Because that's the scary truth, isn't it? While we scroll, they sail. While we fight, they plan. And while we wait for things to go back to normal, they're already living in the next world. So the next time you hear about a yacht with a jail on it, or a submarine that's just for fun, or a museum that no one can enter, remember this. They're not just buying toys, they're building escape pods. And when the world burns, these floating kingdoms won't be waving goodbye, they'll be watching. So ask yourself, if that ship pulled up beside your coast tonight, would you be invited aboard? Or would you just be one more dot on the radar, quickly fading into the waves? If that truth hits you like a rogue wave, slam that like button. Comment what you'd ask the owner if you ever got on board. And share this video before it disappears like the drone footage. Because this story isn't just about a yacht, it's about a world most of us will never set foot in, but one that's already sailing far ahead of ours.